Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy greetings to you wherever you are. I hope you're having a fabulous, fantastic day. And if it's your weekend, happiest of weekends ever. And I'm here in the kitchen, the creation kitchen, and I am making the heavy metal detox smoothie for the new week ahead. So I am just going to share it with you as I finish it up. I already did the first blend, and I included, if you've watched my video before with the heavy metal detox smoothie, I include cilantro, and today it's cilantro and parsley. So it's about total that I added today. It's 150 grams of cilantro, and then I added here on top now some tomatoes, and also it has spirulina powder, which is a good source of plant-based protein, and barley grass juice powder. So this is the juice powder that I'm using, Terrasol. And I also have used Vimergy. Vimergy is the brand. And then spirulina. I have this one today. It's called Green Origins, and I've been using it now. It's lasted a good time now, so I'm really satisfied with that. And wild blueberries from, well, it doesn't matter which brand really, as long as they're wild blueberries. So it's the Wyman's Wild Blueberries Organic. So I get these at my supermarket, Waitrose, and also Spinneys if you're in Dubai, or else if you're in the US, I know in New York, I would get them at Walmart. So that's where I went to get wild blueberries. But there are other brands, so I'm sure you could get other brands that are wild blueberries. And so final fifth ingredient, the five main ingredients that I've always added is Atlantic Dulse. So this one is Dulse seaweed. And this one gives it a nice little salty taste. It's also rich in minerals, and according to the package, it has some protein, vitamin B12, iron, and calcium. So I added about 5 grams to the smoothie batch. And then, in addition, I like to get creative and experimental sometimes with my heavy metal detox smoothie. However, I always keep it on the low fat to non-fat, because this is meant to be a sort of cleansing smoothie that eliminates heavy metals. So you don't want to bog your system down with digesting the fats at the same time. And especially if you're having your smoothie first thing in the morning after celery juice or your green juice, then you want to make sure that it goes down smoothly and just giving your digestion the fastest and swiftest path forward. And today I added some plant protein. It's chocolate flavored. So of course this is a little bit more of a fun food because, well, my intention is to add protein to the diet now that I am resuming my vegan way of eating. And this one isn't really, it tastes really good. This particular plant protein, it's called organic plant protein from Garden of Life, and the flavor is smooth chocolate. The ingredients are decent. I always check the ingredients before I purchase any supplements, of course, and of course food. And the only thing that would be questionable for me, the only thing that would be questionable for me in this particular plant protein is the fact that it has some vanilla flavoring. It's organic vanilla flavoring, and it has stevia, which I don't consume on its own anyways in my daily diet. And it has some cacao and chocolate. So if you are really careful to not have caffeine or to have any kind of artificial flavors, even though this one is organic vanilla flavor, it's still a sort of chemical, a compound that's synthesized in the lab. And I prefer to have the unflavored protein powders, the plant proteins. And also the bag says it contains 9 milligrams of naturally occurring caffeine per serving. So there you go. See, the chocolate is linked and tied with having caffeine. So I'm not a big chocolate consumer. I noticed that it only increases when I'm stressed and when I begin to consume other highly palatable foods. So I really have to be just very mindful and conscientious about the kinds of foods that I'm eating, making sure that they are simple ingredients and straightforward. None of that fooling around with bars, and those, they're tasty. I have them. I include them sometimes, but there's a tendency to regret it because it's sort of like, ugh, like it wasn't a really clean food. So that's part of my human nature, my weakness, but it ebbs and flows, and that's a whole other topic, I suppose. But the reason I mentioned that is just because I included 1 scoop of this organic plant protein in my green smoothie, the Heavy Metal Detox smoothie. And I'm just going to give it one final blend because I gave it the first one. And I do usually make it 2 rounds of blending. I include first the main ingredients at the bottom and then give it some time to liquefy, because when I've overloaded the machine, I notice that it jams and then it stops working, and I get so scared that my machine will break. Even though the Vitamix is hailed to be a superbly strong and powerful, potent machine. But still, I noticed that it encounters some difficulties if I overwhelm it. And it could also be due to the size. This is not an industrial size machine. It's a household blender for my own use, and it's about maximum 48 ounces capacity. 1,400 milliliters, so 1.5 liters capacity. I'm really happy with it, and I use it every week for the smoothies. So without further ado, I'm going to finish blending this up, and fingers crossed that it'll be smooth sailing so that there are no technical glitches and no scary sounds emanating from this machine. So let's go ahead and blend up your smoothie. So it seems to be working well. So it's a good approach, to first do the first sequence and then add more water, a little bit more, and then more of the solid ingredients, and then continue to blend. I think that's a cue. Usually when I hear that it gets a little bit too, it just gets a little bit too, thick sounding. So what I'll do now is I'm going to add some water just to make sure that it's not going to, be overwhelmed. Yeah, so it's all about balance, working with your blender. The reason I make so much is because it's meant to last for the whole week, so about 5 to 7 portions. Yeah, so there was some coming out just now. I can sort of smell it heating up. But we're just going to do it nice and easy, slow and steady, and then see how it continues to go. Overflow here. got the speed all the way down. Yeah, I really filled it to the brim. So, just telling myself here to be careful. So, let's finish well, right? Hopefully. So we finished. Hey Anthony, welcome. So here I am, I'm making the heavy metal detox smoothie. Water time. We finished it up. I'm so glad that it didn't overflow, because if you had been here in person, you would feel well, I really loaded it with many ingredients, just like the quantity, the volume. So I was careful, so that's the key, okay? You have to go slow and steady. Take it slow. Don't overwhelm your machine. But if you're going to add it to the brim, if you're going to fill it to the brim, then do take your time when you blend the ingredients themselves. And here I have some leftover tomatoes for later today, maybe for dinner or for tomorrow. And so then what I do every week is that I then divide the portions up into little containers so that I have enough for every day. So this is our smoothie, the whole thing right there. So I'm really happy that at least I have enough for every day of the coming week. That way I'm not scrambling, missing it any of the days, and I feel pretty happy that I can have my green smoothie after my celery juice. So the next step is to serve it up into my glass containers. And this is where I encourage you to save your glass jars. These are all jars from previous products that I've consumed and finished. This was like a jam. This was a fruit spread. This could have been some beans or some kind of jarred vegetable, or yeah, probably a vegetable or beans. And they're very handy, and that way you are able to reuse and recycle and make the best use of your utensils without needing to buy something new. It would be nice, of course, to have new, to buy like an official little container or jar, but there's no need. See? So it came out a good consistency. I'm really glad that it came out. It didn't come out too... So that is 9.75 ounces. I'll show you. There it is. Smoothie. Green smoothie. Wow. So that is 9.75. And then what I do here, I go over on my notebook and I have the ingredients right there. And then what I do is I just track, you know, what was in that one. And then the next one, similarly. And I'm sharing this in case you decide to do something similar for yourself. So this one came out a bit thicker. This one is 9.6 ounces. So that's 9.6 ounces. Write that down. And next one, moving on over. So you see I begin to make my little collection. And now, let's see, opening the jar here. 1 second, my friends. Whilst there it is. So, it's nice and thick. It has a good consistency. That's 9.3 ounces. One more down to go. Then we've got this one. And one more. And just prop it up here. Okie dokie. That is 6.3. And I like having just like slightly different portion sizes because sometimes when I go to the office, I don't want to take the heaviest one, the biggest one. So I take a smaller one, but if I'm home, if I'm working from home, then I just take the big one, I drink whatever I'm going to drink, and then continue to freeze the rest. So that is 5.7. 5.7, write it on over. Okay. And then we've got just a little bit left there. And I'm wondering if I shall just add it to, well, you know what I'll do? I will, no, that little thing is too small. I'll take this cup, right? This is 1 cup. And going to finish serving it up right there. So you see we've got already some containers, my little smoothie factory. And then this is the remaining smoothie, which is barely 1/4 cup. It's 1/8 cup. So this was 1/8 cup. And that's it. I made it. Done. I had washed the cilantro and parsley this morning because they take a little bit longer to wash, and then when I came back, at least it was prepped. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I also added 160 grams of cucumber. So I really wanted to emphasize the greens in the smoothie, and that was really important because the smoothie is meant to be not a dessert. It's not like, it's a treat. It's a treat in the sense that you're treating your body to health, you're treating your body to well-being, you're treating your body to good digestion, but also you are not using it as it's not exactly your traditional dessert, quote unquote. It's not supposed to light up your pleasure centers, your sensory receptors in the way of indulgent, hedonistic food, but it's more intended to just give you well-being, vitality, detoxification, and just to know that you're doing it with that intention. And that's it. So I'm just going to leave this one for later. I'm going to put it in the top shelf of my fridge. That way when I return from my walk, I have it ready to go. and I can just enjoy that. And that's it. So I have my containers right here. Let's show you what we've got. So that's what we've got, friends. We've got our smoothie. We've got one, a taste for later. And I'm going to freeze these. And that's it. That's what we do. This is a good way for you to do it too if you are wanting to have a green smoothie every week, but you just find yourself overwhelmed with having to make it every day. It's just annoying, or you don't have the time, whatever it is, then this is what I do, because to make it every day is not feasible or something I choose to do. So I would rather do this one day a week on the weekend when I have more time, and then I just make all the elements, blend it up in a smoothie, and that's it. And the final piece of the process is that I'm going to freeze them. I freeze them, and that way you preserve the nutrients. You don't have to worry about them going bad. Thanks to God, none of them have ever gone bad for me. They've always lasted. I always leave it frozen until the day of consumption, and then I take it out in the morning before, or as soon as I wake up. So I think this cap is not for this jar. I have actually a lot of caps. So let's see which one it could be. Let me see. It's not that one. So I guess it's going to be this one. It fits anyways. It closes enough. So that's mission accomplished. These are clean, so I don't need to I don't need to wash those any more than I've washed other things. And now I come over to my freezer, and we're gonna freeze them. So I'm gonna show you that too, because why not? So here we are. This is my freezer. Freezer. I freeze fruits. I freeze that organic bread because I don't consume it quickly. These are persimmons, and these are the smoothies. So now I can rest assured that they're going to last for the rest of the week. We've got a good portion here, thankfully. Kiwi, frozen kiwi, and that one, and done. And then here is our fridge, and so yep, this one's for later. And this is pumpkin, sprouts, pumpkin, and finito. This is some more celery juice for when I come back from my walk. This is custard apple, organic cucumbers, and this is one of my favorite plant milks. Oat milk is one of my favorites, and this one has calcium. I like that this has simple ingredients, totally straightforward. And here we have one of the most awesome vegetables ever, asparagus. I like big asparagus, baby asparagus. I like asparagus. And I got this the other day. It's a vegetable pressed juice. So it's actually a good juice to have in a pinch when you don't have another juice on hand. I like that the calories are low per 100 ml. So 16 calories is really good. And the ingredients are pretty simple, except if you don't want to consume salt, this has salt, and it has some other, has a kick to it because of the sauerkraut juice. So I've been using this as a sort of ketchup alternative in my dinners. And here we have one of my favorite fruits, banana, ripe banana. This is another one of my favorite fruits ever, lemon. And yeah, and we've got, of course, a lot more stuff. So this is beetroot. This is washed cucumber. Brussels sprouts is one of my favorite veggies ever. Zucchini, celery. I need to replenish my stock. I'm running out after this one. And some pears. I love when they get soft. And also, another protein source, in case you wondered, for plant protein is lupin. It's called lupin protein flakes, and they're made from beans, lupini beans. And this one has pretty good macros, actually. And this particular item is, let's see, it comes from the family of the legumes, as it says, and the ingredients are lupins. So that's it. This is how I like the food that I eat, is just to have simple single ingredients. So like one ingredient or two ingredients. When I begin to delve into the territory of more than one ingredient, then I sort of feel like I'm off my path, and I begin to feel a bit confused. But I just got to stay focused. And this is the protein that I use today. All right. And that's a blender that needs to be washed. And that's it. This is another protein powder that I like to have on hand, pumpkin protein. It's very tasty. Probably the reason being it has a little bit more fat. So 3 grams of fat per 28 grams of serving size, and 15 grams of protein. And it's very decent with fiber. So 3 grams of fat and 3 grams of fiber. So that's good. It's a good ratio. The other protein powder that I really like, I think this is probably my favorite, is this raw protein unflavored. I prefer to go with the unflavored ones. And I like that this one has no stevia, and it has no artificial flavorings. It has no natural flavors, no flavoring. So that's my preference. It just has probiotics and enzymes. It has protein, 22 grams, and it's 2.5 grams of fat, which is almost the same as the pumpkin protein. So this is that one. And yes, I think that's it in terms of the proteins that I have. And I do want to actually get another kind. There's hemp protein powder, which I've used before and I really like. And also there is pea protein powder and rice protein. Then there's quinoa protein powder. There's chia seed protein powder, almond protein, but that's higher in fat. So I keep it low fat and just focus on the fiber, good digestion, and simple ingredients. So that's my philosophy for now. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some benefit and positive beneficial influence from this video, focusing on showcasing our heavy metal detox smoothie. The recipe is from the medical medium Anthony William. I make the smoothie every week, and I just miss it if I don't have it. So that's my habit for now. Every week I make my smoothie. So this week I brought you along, and thanks for tuning in. See you again, and stay healthy, stay happy, and stay vibrant, and share your own flavor of positive vibes. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whomever you are with. From Jennifer at Personal Power Life Coaching in the Kitchen. Health begins in our mind and reflects in our spirit, our body, and our overall life. So enjoy, have an awesome, blessed journey, and I'm wishing you all the best and many and all of God's blessings. God bless you. I love you, and thank you. See you again. Bye for now.